Hi, welcome back to the channel. Well, I've now built all 5 of the legendary Motorsport Day 1 cars, so I struggled a bit on the streets to find out which was nicest, which one wasn't. So I thought, why not take them out on the track and do a bit of track testing. Now, I just want to say this is not a Broughy style test to give you exact numbers and exactly which ones you should buy to race, so please do watch Broughy's for that. No, this is for me to go as fast as I reasonably can round the track with the odd bit of slipping and sliding, and basically determine, for the average person just playing the game and trying to howl through the city streets, which one is the nicest to drive, which one is the worst to drive, and why. And it's no more than that. I did as many laps in each car as I needed to get some consistency, so that we've got some proper numbers to go on. And the first car we're going to look at, and about the best lap I got, was this. So this is the Paragon S, of course, or the Bentley Batteur by Mulliner. Now, this was a rather interesting car to drive. I got one really fast lap of a bit under 54 seconds. I then did about another 20 laps trying to get the same time. The car sounds good, it is fast, and it drives really well, but as soon as it goes over the limit, and perhaps they're reflecting the weight of the real car, you're in the hedge basically, or you're spinning or something. So the car is only at its best when it's just on the ragged edge, but it has not gone over it, or backed off just a tiny bit and driven very cleanly. So that is the main thing to notice about this car. Moving on now to the Niobe, or the BMW Manhart MHI8 as I built it. Now this is a quick car, not quite as quick as the Bentley round the lap. The Bentley was about 54 seconds, this is about 55.5. But watch this slide here. This car is gorgeous to drive. I really enjoy driving it. It has extremely good mid-engine habits. It's got a very locked down front end. It's got quite a locked down back end as well. But if you lift as you push it into the corner, then like some of the very best mid-engine cars around, you can just get a little slide. And if you're doing extreme speed like the first corner I mentioned, the back is only out by a few degrees, but the whole thing is sliding, it's gripping. But it doesn't tend to bite you if you push a bit too hard. So unlike the Bentley, the ragged edge and over is not too ragged. So that was it, 55.5 second lap. Bit slower than the Bentley, but I find a bit more enjoyable despite the lack of noise. Moving on now then to the Envisage, or the Hyundai Envision 74. Wow, did I enjoy this car. So the car is pretty quick. Like the Bentley, it's approximately a 54 second lap time. But the way it drives is very different. The front end is really locked down on this car. Understeer? What understeer? The back end is mobile, but every time the back comes out, you seem to lose very little in the way of momentum. Perhaps they're reflecting the torque of the electric motor there. Perhaps it's luck. I don't know. And it just comes back online, and you're like, well, I've just driven untidily and I've lost hardly nothing. It's consistent. I only did a few laps on the car and I was getting in the 54 to 55 category quite quickly. So what a great car. So in summary, locked on front, mobile rear, you can drive it ragged, fantastic. Moving on to the Coquette D1, which is of course very close to the Corvette C1, built here as Kevin Hart's mint condition, now on its fastest lap. We'll have a bit more time to talk because the car's a bit slower, but I do want to say that all the cars here are in the same stage of tune, which means a stage 4 engine, and I haven't done the rest, with the one exception of the 300ZX where I did do the turbos as well. Okay, onto this car specifically. It drives pretty well and it does feel secure in the bulk of road driving, but when you really start to push it, if the car does slide, as you would expect from this sort of car, you lose a lot of your momentum. Let's say you lose a lot of speed and you really add to your lap time. It's not that quick anyway, but I don't know what else we expect from a sports classic from the 50s. the main problem is I did not find the car particularly easy, and I did not find the car particularly consistent. So great when I did the test of it after the build, but upping the ante a bit, very easy to get ragged, very easy to lose a lot of speed or to crash. So I think this is very much one for showing rather than driving. Here we have then the Euros X32 or the Nissan 300ZX done up as an SMZ version here. I forgot to give you the lap time of the Coquette. Well, that was 1 minute and 3, and this car, also in the Sports Classics class, is 1 minute, so it is a bit quicker. But how does it drive? I really like the way it drives. This car is an easy car to drive. It's a consistent car to drive. I was getting similar lap times most of the time. It hardly slips at all. I mean, not only is the front locked down, but the rear is pretty much locked down. Now, whether this will differ on HSW with more power, I don't know, but certainly in this PC or old gen state, it's just a very locked down, very easy car with little slip. The noise is nothing to write home about, and like some of the other cars that we've been doing, apart from perhaps the Bentley, probably best to play music whilst you're driving this around, but I mean, it does look absolutely fantastic. So let's have a roundup now of what I think of the different cars. For pure speed, the Bentley and the Envision were the fastest, so if that's all that matters to you, then these are the quickest, but of course they drive very differently, and I think that's probably the least important metric here. For the joy of driving these cars, I put the Envision and the i8 at the absolute top of the list. Both of them are quite locked down in some respects, but can also be quite mobile in other respects, but without you losing much. If you do like the tail to come out a bit more, I would pick the Envision of the two, but those to me are the best driving two. I will certainly give an honourable mention under fun for the Bentley for the noise and the sheer speed and the exuberance, but just bear in mind it is quite easy to get slightly carried away and finding yourself in the scenery. So for ease and consistency, well, you are spoilt for choice. As mentioned, the 300ZX seen here is very easy and consistent. I would say the i8 is as well. So is the Envision in a slightly more mobile way. So you've really got your choice there. And yeah, if you want the most difficult cars, it's the Bentley and it is the Corvette. Both those cars are less consistent, they go more easily, and you do suffer the penalty when things go wrong. So there we are. It depends what you want from these cars. I like them all, but you'll find me mostly, I think, in the Envision and the i8 of all of these cars. If you found this helpful, then I would really appreciate a like. If you like real cars in GTA, then please do sub, and I'd love to hear from you down below. Which ones of these have you bought? Do you agree with my analysis, and really which one is your favourite? Really like to know that. Upcoming videos are an already filmed race car build, and probably before that I'm going to do something with the Greenwood cop car once I buy it. But I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Oh look, I came first, racing myself.